Emily Turner is my name. My age is 31, and I never imagined I'd be able to put into words what I'm about to confess. It all started with a straightforward fact. My actual needs were different from what I believed I wanted from a marriage. I thought my college sweetheart, Jason, and I would be together forever after we were married. He was steady, considerate, and realistic. A man who valued regularity, safety, and schedules. I persuaded myself for years that this was the definition of happiness. A husband who consistently provided, a tidy little house, and a logical schedule. But something was lacking from that flawless image. The aspect of love that makes your body come to life and your heart race is the spark, the passion. It had vanished. I was unaware of it. I initially convinced myself that this was how marriage should feel. I secretly yearned for something more powerful, something beyond. Even after the honeymoon period ended, Jason could give me anything. Noah came into my life at that point. He wasn't your average man. He was the best buddy of my spouse, someone who had spent years in our life. Jason and Noah were completely different from one another. Daring, impulsive, and adventurous. He was a construction worker with rough hands and a muscular body from years of work. His confidence was evident in everything he said. Like the majority of dangerous things, it began innocently. When Jason was working late, Noah would come over and assist me with little household maintenance. I would offer him a drink, and we would engage in meaningful conversation that Jason and I hadn't had in years. Noah had a way of making me feel like the same person I used to be. I believed I had lost. The atmosphere between us changed one evening. Something electrifying jolted through me when his palm touched mine after I gave him a glass of water. As soon as our eyes met, I realized that this was more than simply a friendship. I made an effort to distance myself, but the thought persisted. This man gave me a sense of aliveness that I hadn't experienced in a very long time. There was a lot of anxiety in the days that followed. Noah's visits always made my heart race. I felt guilty every time Jason brought up his name. Nevertheless, a greater yearning overcame my shame when I got close to him. Before time, that urge became too great to resist. Noah came over one evening to fix a broken kitchen faucet while Jason was away on a work trip. The ensuing hush was deafening as we stood there, our laughing resonating between us. His gaze swept across mine, and I leaned forward before I could stop myself or think. The next few moments were a haze of feelings, including excitement, dread, and the overwhelming knowledge that I had just crossed a boundary that I would never be able to get back. It was overwhelming to have Noah around. He was larger, stronger, and I had never experienced the depth of my feelings with him before. The outside world vanished in that instant. Attraction wasn't the only factor. It had to do with the hunger that had been growing inside of me for years while I was with Noah. I wasn't the meticulous wife leading a routine life. I was a woman rediscovering what life was all about. However, there is always a cost associated with enthusiasm. The days that followed were characterized by guilt and secrecy. I wondered how Jason could not see the truth written all over my face as I stared at him. I made an effort to persuade myself that it was only an error and that it would not occur again. But I knew the truth in my heart. It was never enough to taste that heat once. Even if Noah and I made an effort to resist, the draw was too strong. Every stolen instant and every gaze carried the burden of something prohibited and hazardous. Even though I adored Jason, the life we led together seemed smaller and more peaceful in comparison to the storm Noah sparked inside of me. I have no idea how this tale will conclude. Perhaps the truth will surface and destroy everything I've worked so hard to achieve. Perhaps I will always bear this secret, caught between devotion and desire, between passion and safety. However, I can say with certainty that what I discovered in Noah was greater, more powerful, and more than I could have ever dreamed. And often the facts that give us the greatest sense of aliveness are also the most frightening.